Alrighty, Baruch Hashem, welcome to the Captain's Ready Room, the scale modeling show that proves even I can build a model. So we are working on the rear end of the Reliant, the 1/537 scale Reliant. So what I did was I did some detail painting and got a couple of the decals on and ready to go. Also did on the saucer some detail painting. We've got the phaser banks and some of these pieces back here, including the decal. The reason why I'm doing that is when the roll bar has to go on the top, we don't want to have to reach under and try to get all this stuff on. Now, a couple things. Number one, I do know that the color here is a little bit darker than what is on the filming model. This lighter gray is a little more close to that. But I tried some duck egg blue and it was just too light. You could barely see it. It didn't even look like I painted anything. So I went with something a little darker in terms of the gray side. And then this, I don't know, some screenshots and different shots I saw, this tended to look a little darker too. So I did that. I definitely don't agree with the box art of the model. It has some pretty bright blue here. And if you see, this is more of a gray here anyway. So when I'm looking at that, it's pretty clear to me that that stuff is gray, and it's not that much of a blue either. So I sort of went out on my own. So do what you want. Just to show you here in the back, this part here has a little lip on the bottom. So when you go to put this in, you got to put it in just so. And the bad news is this part here doesn't want to quite fit. So we've got some work to do on this back and sealing up the seam here on this. So when we go to do it, we're gonna have to work on that. So once we get this in, there's another little bit of detail painting and and a decal there that I'm going to put on, and then we'll be done with that step on our model. And the very next piece to do is the underside and putting these warp nacelles on. So that'll be next. And after that, I believe, is the roll bar and kind of getting that ready and then putting it on the ship, and that'll be it. So this is the definite. Let me see, I did some detail in the back, and once I get the warp engines on, I'm going to be able to set it on the base and do it that way. So alrighty, with that said, we'll be back with an update here shortly on getting the back attached. Okay, all right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Alrighty, welcome back. We've got the Reliant pieces all glued on here. I've got them a little taped down to try to anchor them, but looks like we're going to be all set with it. So it is drying, and in there we've got some gapping right here we'll have to work on. So kind of a heads up, I really had to push this thing down in tight and hold it down in there with some glue. So if you've got some of the fast drying glue, that's the best for it. Okay, so the next steps, as I believe I reviewed, we'll be working on the lower hull. So we've got this piece. This is the sensor that will be going in the bottom of the saucer section, and we'll get it painted up. There's also a clear piece. It's hard to see, but that goes down inside this piece here. And then we've got two small pieces that have to get connected, painted, and then they go into these holes in here along with the warp engines, and we'll have the model sort of almost done, with the exception of the roll bar assembly and then putting the roll bar on. One of the things I'm going to do is, once I get the warp engines on, I've already kind of put the mount in here for the stand, and I'm going to finish the bottom of the saucer. And once I do that, as long as it sits on the stand relatively well with the nacelles on, I'll finish up the decals on here so that because I don't want to have to keep setting it down, and I don't want to scrape the paint and all that sort of thing off the bottom. So that's kind of the plan with this going forward. With that, we'll wrap it up here on this episode. As always, please follow us on Twitter. It's at Captain6K77 for updates and different things going on. Also, please feel free to send a message, a direct message, or anything like that. If you've got anything you have us pray for you on the show, we'll do that. We don't do it live on the air, obviously, but we will keep you on our prayer list going and offer some prayer for anything you might be going through. With that, we'll see you next time. Shalom.